This is Yohhamgambal. We're back playing Shadow Hearts. Last time we met Haley, the gang leader of the London Rats, and we are gonna go ahead and head to the orphanage that apparently was once owned by Albert Simon, but has now been taken over by a fellow named Jack, who has stolen Haley's friends, who are all orphans, by the way. But there's definitely something suspicious going on in this orphanage. Seems like Joshua and Sharon are stuck in the room, but where's Chris? Well, Chris seems to be somewhere else, but at least Sharon and Joshua, we found them at least. And the men in black have been stealing the children and bringing them here. We also learned that Haley has psychic abilities. He has ESP. Anyways, though, this enemy should look familiar if you have watched my Kadelka LP. These are the Night Stalkers. They hang upside down. They're weird. Well, I don't think they're all called Night Stalkers, but if you remember, there was an enemy that would hang upside down, and he had a pistol, and they're actually pretty dangerous. So this is the Night Stalker, servant of Jack, the mansion's master. He has the power of lower-level spirits. If you hear footsteps from the ceiling or a cackling laugh, beware. He is a wind nature. He has 2,500 HP. And all he can really do is use Gale, which just makes him faster. So he's really not too dangerous, but well, that's actually not true. His physical attack is actually relatively strong, because he has a gun. Anyways, as you can see, Haley, ESP is actually pretty strong. Right now, he has only a couple attacks, but he can heal. He can, so far, from what I remember, all of his attacks are only single-hitting ones, so they don't hit, like, the whole group, but they're pretty strong. So, yeah, so his, what is that called? Strong Earth? That crystal attack hits only one enemy. He also has I don't think he has, no, he has the water run. He has the water run right now, and he can also turn his comrades' physical attacks into air nature. So, yeah. So yeah, just keep using Strong Earth. It's pretty decent, though. I like the way it looks, though. Yeah, 219, not bad. And his weapon of choice to attack with is a slingshot. So yeah, he uses slingshots as his weapon. Nice, got perfect. But it's not gonna, I mean, that should heal. Yeah, perfectly heal way more on someone else, but not her. Anyways, though, just finish him off. I could have used Yuri's, I don't know. Nah, that's fine. I'm trying not to rely too much on the fire spirit form because, you know, he's so easy to use. But he's really good. Anyways, though, with that we get the kids' room key. And like I said, he's a wind nature, so it's going to go up just a little bit. But with this, at least, we'll be able to get Sharon and Joshua out of there. And I forgot to show you his equipment, so yep, like I said, he uses a slingshot. I used to have a slingshot. And I also got new equipment for Alice, this Holy Bible, this Ever Bible. And that's about it. So anyways, though, like I said, we got the kid room key, so I like the little Kermit on it. Those jerks. I like the little red Kermit on it. Looks like an enemy from Earthbound, which I actually just introduced my brother to, and he's loving Earthbound. He is really enjoying it. I think he just made it to the cult, the blue cult, so he's having a lot of fun with it. Yep, Chris is not here. Nice music sting. This is a really shitty orphanage room. This is like the bare essentials of even that. Yeah, Jack's definitely running something fishy here. His servant is a upside-down monster with two deformed heads attached to each other. Man, you are really quick with your pickpocketing. Alright, we got the guest room key. The kid's running. There's a couple of items you want to grab in here. Unfortunately, I forget one of them, but I forget two of them, but I do come back later to grab them. You definitely don't want to miss one of them because it's a really good item. But the reason why it's kind of easy to miss them is because there's a lot of things to look at here, and it's just the toys. So it's really easy to, yeah. Anyways, we got the guest room key, which is pure gold. So the kids get the shitty key, and then the guest room gets this gold key. Anyways, the gold key is used on the top left over here. And there's a diary. You're gonna want to read these diaries because they're important. They give you clues on how to get farther into the mansion. Ugh. I'd really rather not keep reading it. Experiments? Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, well, guessing from that, the kids are definitely right about the experimentation. It seems like Jack is turning the children into monsters. But for what reason, we do not know. Anyways, there is a lottery ticket, I believe, in the fireplace. And I messed up on that. I was not ready for it. I think I messed up one more time. Oh, no, I get it. Okay. Okay, remember that. That's an important date. We're going to need that. Anyways, here's a lottery ticket. And I think that's everything in this room. There's nothing else in here. But the date is important, though. You're going to need it to get into the other rooms. Because the other rooms are locked with sturdy dials. And if you remember the date, we need to put in the date for March. So March is the 3rd. So remember the date that entry was written in. We need to put those in. And then... But it was March the 3rd? January, February, March. Yeah, March is the 3rd. Alright, and if you come over here, there's a hidden treasure chest. Or a hidden item, sorry. The Eye of Ouroboros, which is actually a really good item. It's a really good healing item. Yeah, fully restores MP and SP. So pretty good. Those are pretty rare. That's actually a really easy item to miss. But anyways, we can go ahead and head inside here. Which I believe is Jack's room. Mary, 3 July, 5-4. Okay, looks like we're gonna have to bust into his drawer. Oh, see, this is the one I messed up on. I don't know why I'm messing up on the rings so much lately. See, look at that. That's some serious garbage right there. Come on, Johan, you can do it! A heavy file. Yes, I will read this. This must be Jack's diary. Oh boy, I think I see where this is going. This sounds like, makes me think of Castlevania, the Lord of Shadows, where he, well, okay, spoiler alert, if you haven't played that, becomes a vampire to defy God, No, 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 no. That's... I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the wrong Castlevania. I'm thinking about Castlevania... which Castlevania is it? It's the one that explains where the, Vampire Killer... How the Vampire Killer was made. Oh, I forgot... Curse of Shadows? It's a PlayStation 2 game. I just don't remember its name. But it explains how the Vampire Killer was made in the start of the Belmont clan. Oh no. The immigrant documents, of course we know about that, because if you remember Kadoka, one, O'Flannery, one of the characters that you played as, was looking for the immigrant documents for the Vatican, because it was stolen by his friend Patrick, if I remember correctly, because he wanted to revive his dead wife, Elena. So that's what's going on here. Jack is trying to revive his dead mother with the immigrant documents. Okay, anyways, we have two enemies here that won't even put up a fight. The guys in the police suits are Yohhamgambal, ghost of a general who loved to torture people. He came back from hell to participate in the atrocities at the orphanage. He roams the orphanage in search of cries of pain. Only has 164 health, is water type, and all they can do is just random ring. So they are very weak. But the enemies next to them, the meat-rotting looking ones, are banshees, if I remember correctly. See, look at that, not even triple, yeah. Banshees, malicious ghost of young woman who received horrible experiments on her body. Her skin was ripped off and she shivers constantly. Yeah, only 153 HP, they're fire type, and they can only lower your SP. So they are not dangerous at all. Not even on the radar. But yeah, though. Patrick, who was O'Flannery's friend, who married O'Flannery's love, Elaine, got the immigrant documents because she died. And then he moved to that monastery and started doing all those experiments on trying to revive her. Oh, and we got the monkey paw, which is actually a really good item. Trying to revive her, and if you remember, he was somewhat successful. He was able to revive her, but not her spirit. He was able to revive the body, but a different creature's mind was inside of it. So, yeah. And depending on what ending you get, she kind of purifies herself or is completely blown up. So, yeah. And now what's interesting is, though, if you remember, Roger Bacon fits somewhere into this, because we know he knows almost, because I think they've said in this game already, I don't want to accidentally spoil it if they haven't, that he knows all the manuscripts, because he had to copy them, and was actually successful in using a druid spell on himself. That is why he's immortal. But he doesn't seem like the Roger Bacon we know in this game. He's very different from the one in Kadoka. Anyways, though, we've run across Jack. I don't know. As terrible as death is, it is important. Especially when you think about in tarot cards, death means new beginnings. Although it is sad and painful, things can't last forever. It doesn't make it not unfair, but, death is an important part of human life. That's what makes human life so special, too. The fact that we even have the chance for it. Otherwise, if you didn't have to worry about death, then life would be kind of, I wouldn't say monotonous, but maybe wouldn't hold as much value as it intrinsically does, because once it's gone forever. Chris is going to go inside that giant coffee pot. Stop her! She's too young for caffeine! Whoa! Ooh, wow, you got lucky there. Looked like she was about to fall in. Wow, we could hear that voice really clear that time. That's Haley's mom? Mother? I just can't help but think about Donkey from Shrek 2 when he finds out Prince Charming is the son of the fairy godmother. Oh, and Jack comes a-running. Anyways, here is our, I guess, boss. He's really weak. I don't know. He's not really that difficult. He has 2,500 HP, and he is a water type. He does like to paralyze you and slash. Other than that, though, I don't remember him being that difficult. Anyways, though, we're going to go ahead and just use Ifrit. I don't know why I didn't use the Fighting Spirit, but even then, though, look how much damage I do. Do a lot. Unfortunately, though, he can paralyze, but it's not too big of a deal. Yeah. Just gonna show you what the slingshot looks like real quick. It's decent. But, yeah, though. So really, Yuri's gonna be the one dishing out the damage, as usual. I mean, that's just what Yuri does. Yuri is a dish damage dealer. I love the way Wish looks, too. It kind of reminds me of Wish from Pokemon, which is a great attacker. And again, I don't know why I didn't power him up. Maybe I was underestimating him. I mean, again, he's not that hard. And thankfully, Alice cannot be paralyzed because of the amazing crucifix item. Yeah, Haley can't really do a ton. Just, you know, if you leveled him up a little bit, he would have actually, gained his air shot ability, which will actually be helpful in the next fight. But I didn't, so it's okay. It's not a big deal. Despite Jack not being that dangerous, he does actually do a decent amount of damage. What makes him dangerous, though, is the fact that he can paralyze you. Now, one thing you probably should have done before this match is put on the mirror bracelet, because the next fight after this immediately starts, and you have to deal with a boss. This is like a two-pronged boss, a boss who can petrify you. Thankfully, I didn't get petrified once, but normally you want to have the mirror bracelet on. I just forgot to. Did you see that perfect? Nothing but perfect on it. That was beautiful. And I think this finishes him off. Yeah. And he says, "My mom." Well, there we go. Jack's down. Gives you a lot of experience, though. Level up. Level up. Like I said, though, we're not done quite yet. An Oedipus complex, yeah, definitely. Oh no, the coffee pot's overflowing. And here we have the boss of this place. This is my mom. And really interesting. Well, actually, let me read its bio real quick. So that's my mom, Jack's beloved mother. She has been revived by her son's experiment, but she is different now. She is a different being now, a victim of the sickle of life. It has 3,500 HP. It's an earth element. Excuse me. Excuse me again, gross. And what it likes to do is it likes to petrify you. Thankfully, I didn't get that. But it does like to petrify you. It likes to use shockwave, which is wind. And it hits everybody. And it also likes to heal itself by howling. But yeah, one of the actually really cool things is, though, it's a really small, well, I wouldn't say it's a small detail, but it's really cool in continuity. But what I do real quick here is just give Yuri the air, so now his attacks will do even more damage. If you look at this monster's design, it is very reminiscent of the final boss in Kadoka. Because if you remember, Elena was revived through the Immigrate documents. But through a different method, though. If you remember, she was revived by being, like, put in a flower inside of a tree, like the tree of life. And it, like, revived her body, and it had the, what is those called? The Gates of Babylon? The Tree of Life or whatever. The symbols of the Tree of Life all over her body. And then when she started to mutate, she became a giant, like, husk bug thing. Very much like what my mom is right now, except not so gray. I think because, obviously, I don't think Jack completed the, I don't think Jack completed everything, because he needed Chris to fall in there, so it was probably missing the human spirit part, which is maybe why, Elaine's had so much color, while my mom's is not. And maybe he's using a different method of reviving. While they do both have the cauldron, I don't know if that cauldron's kind of the same as Patrick used for Elaine. I don't know, because I don't think we ever see the cauldron for Elaine. But yeah, though. So yeah, that's what this is. It's very similar to that, which is, I thought, really cool. It's almost dead, though, as you can see. It's really wiggling. It's not that hard of a fight. I think it's almost dead. Yeah, I think a couple more shots from Yuri. Again, Yuri just, like, if you put on the right element for him, you give him Mind's Eye, you put on Fighting Spirit, yeah, he wrecks house. Unless the enemy doesn't take any damage from physical attacks, which I think there's like a couple, but they're really far between. But, yeah. Come on. Bam! Bam! Look at that. Like, overnight, like, I think I just did about 1,000 damage there. Wow, that thing can howl like a lion. Weird. But yeah, this fight would have gone even a little faster if Haley had his air shot. I think he learns it after this battle. So it's a decent idea to maybe level him up just a little bit so he can get it. Because his magic is actually pretty damn strong. It's pretty damn decent. Like, look at that, 206. That's pretty good. But the only thing that makes it kind of annoying is I don't think he gets any area of effect magic. I think it always just affects one enemy. I'm not super sure. I'm probably wrong. We'll have to see, because I don't remember exactly. Alright, and it looks like Yuri finishes him off. And look at that damage. And there we go. My mom. Kind of feel a little bad for Jack, but does not excuse all the evil he's done here. Definitely does not excuse the evil he's done to all these children and people. Nice, Yuri's fists are glowing yellow. I think the only way to ever really create new life is, you know, making a baby. That seems to be the really consistent way. Kept you from going bananas. I just love how Susan looks at Yuri. What you looking at me for? Dude, we have a person who's literally turns into a monster, and we have a vampire in a purple suit next to you. You're clearly probably one of the more normal characters in the game.
My mother told me that too. That she and I are people like anyone else. It's just that when we were born, God gave us some powers that are a little different. But that's not the way those guys saw it. The Friar Knights of the Inquisition decided from the start that my mother was a witch. And they locked her up in a mental hospital. All my mother did was to use her special powers to help people who were possessed by ghosts. Or to cure people who were hurt. She didn't fight back at all. Because they threatened to kill me if she did. They weren't my mother's enemies at all. It was all because of me. All because of me.
Funny enough, Kadoka still has way better voice acting in this game. Like, without a doubt, Kadoka's voice acting is way better than Shadow Heart's. Love how Keith doesn't even give a shit. Yeah, your mom might know. I mean, your mom's been on the ball for a lot of things, so maybe she knows. Okay, now you can choose who you want to have with you. I'm just gonna keep Haley in the party for a minute. I don't use him a lot in the later part of the game, so I wanted to do something a little different and just have it with me for a while. But yeah, though, I gotta figure out who my final party's going to be. Obviously, it's going to be Yuri and Alice, but then I got to figure out who do I want to fill that last position. Because we've gotten all the characters now. There's no more characters to get. Just going to spoil that out for you. We've gotten everybody. But I'll probably still switch it up every now and then. Especially for depending on the bosses. So, actually, if I remember what boss is coming up next, I'll probably... Well, it's already too late. I already chose him, but it's okay. Yeah, you probably don't need to be. You almost fell into a giant coffee pot. Sounds kind of like something that one Yuri's father's friend had back in Shanghai. The guy who had the underground tournament ring thing. But you know what though? Now with that, I'm going to end the video here, and we're going to go ahead and continue on and hopefully rescue Haley's mother in the next part. So this has been Yohhamgambal. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Okay, bye then.